There are many different objections to God's existence, but the most common of these is the problem of evil. Namely, how can evil and God coexist? So the argument is these three premises, and if the three of these cannot be true at the same time, they say if two of these are true, then the third one must be false. It is God is all powerful, God is all good, and evil exists. And what's in behind this is an all good God would want to stop evil. That's what they're saying with these three. But the real question is this true? I think this isn't true because if humans have free will, then that means that God would allow us to sin because forced love isn't love. If we were forced to love God, then we wouldn't actually truly love Him because we didn't have a choice. Unless if we make the choice to love Him, then we can truly love Him. But if we're allowed to make this free will choice, then some might reject this choice and sin and do evil. That's why evil exists in this world. There's five options when God creates the world. He could have one, not create anything; two, create us without free will; three, create us with free will, but we would not sin; four, create a free world with sin, but we would all be saved; and five, created a free world with sin, where some would be saved and some would not be saved. Now, it seems like it seems like this option right here is not the best option. It seems like either three or four would be great, but we're gonna go through all of them in detail, and I'll get to that. The first one is just not he didn't create anything, but the real thing here is that's a category mistake. Not creating to creating is a category mistake. It's like asking what color is math. You can't compare them, so comparing non-being to being is useless for this. The second option is creating us without free will. And this would mean that there's no true morality, no true good or evil, because we're all robots forced to do whatever God wants, and we wouldn't actually have free will. And this would also lead to forced love isn't love because we wouldn't actually have the choice. The third option is creating a free world, but we would not sin, and the fourth option is creating a free world with sin, but we would all be saved. These two seem like great options, but the thing is, these two are theoretically possible, but not achievable when we have free will, because if even one person makes that choice not to sin, then these makes the choice to sin or makes the choice to not be saved and not love God, then these two both fall apart. It's not actually achievable with the free will of human creatures. So the fifth option is the only one that's achievable, where some can be saved, and even though some aren't saved, it God is giving His grace to us in saving any of us at all. We all deserve to go to hell, and it's the only option that accounts for evil and a good, all powerful God. Well, the argument here is like number five isn't the best world, and I agree, it's not the best world, but it's the best way to get to the best world. Because in heaven, all have chosen with free will to truly love God. Everyone in heaven truly loves God and has already made that choice. And they all have sinned, but they've all accepted God's salvation. And in hell, all have chosen free will to not love God, and they've all sinned just like people in heaven, but they've all rejected God's salvation. And this is really sad. We don't want this to happen, but it is what ends up happening with free will of human creatures, and it's the only way to reconcile free will with evil in the world and with an all good and all powerful and all loving God. And now the question still remains, and this is the most common way it's phrased: why do bad things happen to good people? And this is an honest question. This is a good question. But the thing is, there's a premise hidden in it that says that most people are good. The thing is, there are no good people. Jesus said, "No one is good except God alone. Everyone has sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Every single one of us has done something to deserve to go to hell. We all have sinned." And so that means that none of us actually are good people. But the question remains, like, why not one less evil? Why not less evil things happening? But the hidden assumption is, if I can't see a redemption in this evil thing that's happening, then there isn't one. But if God knows everything, then He can permit evils for the sake of them being redeemed in the end. So just because you can't see that how a good thing can come out of an evil thing, that doesn't mean that there aren't good things coming out of that evil thing and actually outweigh that evil. And also, without hardships, we could never actually grow as people. The Job of chapter 42 is stronger, more resilient, and more grateful than the Job of chapter 1. Thank you for watching. Make sure to share your thoughts below and help me get to 100 subscribers, as only 15% of my viewers are subscribed.